Thank you for joining us for our August Shotsuki, Hoyo, and Adult Monthly Memorial Blah. Thank you for joining us for our August Shotsuki, Hoyo, Monthly Memorial, and Adult Dharma service. I would like to begin by reading the names of those who've passed away in the month of August. Roy Akiyoshi, Jutaro Akiyoshi, Toki Baba, Kyo Baba, Tamotsu Baba, Tomoko Endo, Tomi Fuji, Kyubei Fukuda, Hanako Furuta, Kentaro Otsuka Gluck, Asai Goto, James Grohl, Keinosuke Hamasaki, Katsuko Harano, Yuguchi Hashimoto, Yoshitomo Hirabayashi, Haruyo Hiromoto, Masajiro Hirota, Tadashi Hirota, Mishi Horimoto, Ishi Hoshide, Shizue Inouchi, Den Inoue, Kuri Kakutani, Ichimatsu Kamano, Robert Kamano, Jeffrey Kanada, Tsuru Kada, Toyomatsu Kada, Tamaki Kanda, Sakai Katayama, Rinzo Kato, Setsuno Kawabata, Fujie Kawabe, Yutaka Kayatani, Harvey Kido, Tsune Kimura, Keijiro Kimura, Osayo Kimura, Mokichi Kisanuki, Juki Kitagaki, Inajiro Koizumi, Kayo Kuramura, Kanichi Masui, Toshikazu Matsutani, Kiyo Minamidani, Takao Misaki, Katsu Mitani, Kenichi Miyamoto, Tsuyako Mizusaki, Kazuo Mori, Asaemon Muramoto, Koyo Muramoto, Masami Muramoto, Take Muramoto, Yumi Nagata, Ichi Nakagawa, Mitsuo Nakagawa, Seijiro Nakagawa, Tomie Nakagawa, Tosaburo Nakahara, Yukie Nakahara, Akira Nakamura, Himeko Nakao, Ishi Nakao, Timothy Nakaya, Yokichi Neishi, Shimeno Nishino, Yuki Nomura, Wakai Nomura, Hajime Nomura, Sylvia Nomura, Fude Ogawa, Jack Ogawa, Kazue Ogawa, Minosuke Ogawa, Katsuo Ohashi, Yoshihiro Ohashi, Tameo Okai, Kazumi Okamoto, Fujio Okano, Kimio Okawachi, Shigekazu Okawachi, Yukie Hiramoto Onizuka, Miyuki Otake, Baby Otsuka, Moto Otsuka, Sano Otsuka, Yuriko Otsuka, Mitsue Ozaki, Itsuo Ozawa, Miyako Sakai, Masako Sakaki, Tami Sakaki, Yoichiro Sakaki, Yoshiko Sano, Hana Sasaki, Moriichi Sasaki, Gary Seiji, Kikuno Shigematsu, Lenai Shimabukuro, Baby Shinomoto, Charles Saint Germain, Sujaku Family, Sakuyo Sumimoto, Junichi Sumimoto, Hana Sunada, Masui Sunagawa, Toyo Sunayama, Koichi Takata, Tai Tamata, Nobu Tamori, Kumetaro Tamori, Chugoro Tani, Moto Tani, Tamayo Tani, Mitsuo Taniguchi, Matsusuke Taniguchi, Ichimi Teramae, Fusajiro Utsurogi, Mabel Watanabe, Lauren Kimio Worrell, Take Yago, Shizuo Yamamoto, Mosanta Yamamoto, Sadazo Yamane, Shigeko Yamaoka, Katsutoshi Yanagitsubo, Patricia Ono Yokomizo, Aiko Yokoyama, Sachiko Yokoyama, Masaru Yoshioka, Togo Yoshioka. Next, we'll have Sutra chanting. We will chant Shoshinge. You can find it in the BCA service book on page 33. And you can chant along, or you can think about your loved ones during the chanting. Namandam, namandam, namandam. Kimyo munyo junyo rai Namo fukashi ko Hozo bosatsu niji Zai seiji zai obusho
都県小仏浄土院国土人伝自然膜混入無常主将願長発慶右大偶勢五行死有死小樹十世名所門実法不法無量無変更無下無体公園の少女歓喜知恵子不断難事務所公超日学校精進説一切群上無交渉本願名号少女語死神信行願人上等学初大涅槃必死滅度願成就如来所以公主世唯説弥陀本願会五辱悪事群上会お信如来如実言納発一年期愛心不断本の特涅槃凡上逆法再演入如主死入海一味摂取信仰上昇後意の水波無明暗頓内心臓死運無上不真実新人天非如日光不運無運無資源妙無暗逆心謙虚大狂気即応超絶合悪種一切全幕本部人門心如来偶勢願仏言古代小下者善人名分だりけみだ仏本願念仏邪見狂慢悪主上信行十字人に南南中市南昔インド祭天使論下中華自治域史こそ現代諸公聖書意妙如来本税要記釈迦如来両合戦一種五妙難天竺龍樹大自主とせ質の財派有無権先絶大乗無情報召喚議事小安楽賢治南行六六信行異行指導楽億年弥陀仏本願次年即時入筆上唯の上昇如来語お法大悲偶勢四天神菩薩増論説奇妙無下光如来永主たら見真実光線王朝大聖願こういう本願力へこ移動群上昇一心記入苦毒大崩壊筆逆入大へ収集特使連下造世界即小信用保証人有本の人間人図入生寺音寺用下本師どん南陽天使上皇乱消防殺来三蔵ルシ十上教凡上専業気楽法 天神菩薩論中下報道因果見性がおげんねこゆたり少女死因入新人枠前本部新人ポツ承知生じ即涅槃必死無量光明道小宇上回復家同社結晶道難所唯明浄道活入万全自力変言種円満特語感染症三不三神経音言増末放滅道品一生増悪地偶税死安女害称名化全道独名武将医公愛上三女逆悪公明明語権人年海入本願大地界行者少女今後心狂気一年総合用意大と逆三人即小法小子上楽原神公開一大教変気安女間一切先祖出身反先人法家二度小弁入極重悪人入小物が薬剤非摂取中煩悩証言水不見大無見上昇が本資源空明仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教諸公編集戦弱本願具悪性現内生自人連下決知義上位少子即入弱上無意楽一心人二の入愚教大自主死と上際無変極上悪同族自主愚道心有意化心心高層説ナマ
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Okay, thank you once again for joining us for our August Shotsuki Hoyo monthly memorial and adult Dharma service. We just had our Obon festival and Obon service and Hatsubon service last week. And if you were not able to watch that, you still can. They're still online. And we still have the setup from Obon. So we still have the Hatsubon lanterns. And it's just kind of a nice reminder of it being this time of year. We do it kind of early here in the States, even though BCO is relatively late in the BCA kind of calendar of Obons and everything. But in Japan, normally it's middle of August, maybe August 13, 14, 15. Although I understand also that it does vary by region. Now, I was thinking about something from a year ago, and it's kind of related to what we're going through. But what I realized is it's been almost a year since the smoke that we had from the fires that were due to those lightning strikes. I don't know if you remember. I was looking back at my notes from August, from September especially, when we had been in like days and days, if not weeks and weeks on end, of the smoke and the kind of orange skies and the horrible air. And I almost hate to bring it up, right? It was so awful, right? It was some of the most disturbing things I had been through in my life, just about to turn 50 at the time, right? And between the pandemic and then all the smoke and everything, it was just really, really horrible. And yet, I realized something. During that time, I tried to take seriously wearing a mask, right? N95 mask, or, a mask that was going to try and prevent the smoke particles from getting into my lungs. And, I went to high school in Japan. I've lived in Japan total of like 10 years in my life, but I never wore one of those masks. In Japan, people have been wearing masks like that ever since the 80s. I'm sure it goes back even further than that. And I remember, you would see people riding the train wearing these masks. And I think I tried to put one on once, maybe when I was in grad school, and I was like, this is awful. It's hard to breathe and everything. But with that smoke last year, I was like, I can't just be breathing this all the time. So the smoke was getting into my house. My house is far from airtight, but definitely going outside. Tried to wear a mask anytime I was outside. Now, I know plenty of people didn't bother. You didn't necessarily notice the smoke. Maybe your throat would get scratchy or something. I don't know. But, I know a lot of people didn't wear masks, wouldn't wear masks. I found that kind of strange. And, maybe someone couldn't find them. They were remember how they were out of stock? And for a while, it was really hard to find any. But I tried to wear mine. It was selfish in a way, right? I wanted to protect myself. It was maybe not selfish, but self-related, right? To try and protect myself from the smoke. So with COVID, right, there's the aspect of protecting yourself from the virus, but there's also the aspect of trying to protect others, right? To realize that maybe I have it. Even that's the horrible thing about this, right? You can be asymptomatic or in early stages or whatever and be infected and pass it on to others. So it's hard to find something good in the fires that we've had over the past couple years. But one thing I discovered that was good is it got me used to wearing a mask. And actually, wearing just a cloth mask is way more comfortable than wearing an N95, right? It's much harder to breathe with an N95 mask. And so that's something that I realized, that, wow, it took trying to protect myself from the smoke to be able to adopt to wearing a mask to protect myself and others. I talk about this a little bit in the September Bushin, which should be coming out very soon if it's not out already. And Buddhism has that. It's Bodai Shin, the aspiration for enlightenment, realizing I want to be enlightened. I want to be awakened, right? That's benefiting oneself. But the flip side of the aspiration for awakening for oneself is the aspiration to liberate all beings, not only oneself. So the first part, wanting to be liberated myself, that's wisdom. The second part, wanting to liberate others, compassion. So wisdom and compassion are like two sides of the same coin, two wings of a bird, right? That both of these are important, are fundamental aspects of Buddhahood, of what we aspire to as Buddhists. And I thought it was kind of neat to realize, wow, wearing a mask manifests that in a way. Trying to protect oneself, trying to protect others. Realizing I don't exist in a vacuum, it's not all about me, but I also, if I'm going out into society, that this concern for others as well. Another aspect of this, and I don't want to go on too long, but is also appreciation. This is what the fire's awoke in me too, right? That when it was smoky, I wanted fresh air so badly. And that first day when the smoke seemed to finally be blowing away, I remember just opening all the doors and turning on the fans and let's get some of this fresh air in here. And it was so wonderful and just, amazing to have fresh air. In this past year, have I really appreciated each day of fresh air? If I'm honest, my answer is no, right? I take it for granted. There have been times when I step outside and I'm like, oh, fresh air. I can't believe it. This is, it's not something to take for granted. And yet I do. Each sip of clean water. Right? This is, I hope it doesn't become something rare and special, but I have a feeling it might. Maybe not in my lifetime. I only got a few more decades left in me, right? If I'm lucky. But for the next 100 years, our children, grandchildren, going to have fresh water to be able to consume regularly, to take for granted. Each meal. How often when I'm eating do I realize, wow, oh my gosh, this incredible meal, this incredible food, whether it's McDonald's or Chez Panisse or, whatever, that appreciation, right, for each meal. I think instead we often complain. The rice is a little bit hard. I think they put too much sauce on this. Right? I don't really like this. I'd rather have that. Oh, why? I'd rather have it prepared this way instead of that way. What's up with that? Right? That's something that Japan and Japanese culture, and I hope Buddhist culture, can teach us. That it's not about what do I want and I want what I want. Right? Now I better get my money's worth while I'm at it. Or is it, wow, incredible food. I'm able to survive. Water, air. These things we normally take for granted. I think that's part of Buddhism, to try and awaken to an appreciation of that. Gratitude, kansha. Right? That's partly why we say itadakimasu. That's maybe the main reason why we say itadakimasu, to try and express that gratitude. We express it when we're not even feeling it. Right? A lot of times we say itadakimasu just because we think, oh, I'm supposed to say it. The magic words before we eat. No. It's to help us appreciate what we have. Help us realize the treasure of each meal. Some people out there are starving. There's children out there starving in America, right? All over the place. So many. And yet, the rice is too hard, or, oh, I don't like Chinese rice. I prefer Japanese rice. I don't know that I don't like to call it gratitude practice. Personally, I don't think the purpose is to practice gratitude. If anything, I'm lucky to have a practice of realizing when I don't have gratitude. Right? Itadakimasu. Eat. Wait, I just said it, but did I mean it? I already inhaled half my meal. Have I appreciated each bite? Have I appreciated this food? So, Namo Amida Butsu. Right? Saying Namo Amida Butsu, I think, is part of this path of striving for appreciation, kindness, awareness, but also to show me when I'm not doing that, when I'm not being grateful, when I'm not being aware. Right? And yet, When I realized that, I realized even more. Namo Amida Butsu, thank you. Even someone foolish such as me, who has no appreciation. It's only been a year, and yet taking this fresh air for granted. Someone like that, still embraced by the Buddha, still enveloped in this light of wisdom and compassion. Your loved ones on the list, right? All these names that we read, whether it's this month or any month, right? They're part of that wisdom and compassion. They want us to awaken this gratitude and appreciation, right? So that we can live our lives to the fullest. It doesn't mean being perfect, but maybe we can, in appreciating what we have, we can live our best life, my best life, the best life that I can live as I am. So I want to thank you very much for joining us for our Shotsuki Hoyo monthly memorial and adult Dharma service. Why don't we conclude the service with Gassho, reciting Buddha's name in appreciation, but also inspiring us to awareness of when we're not aware and when we're not feeling gratitude. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Okay, thank you very much. We're going to start meeting soon to try and figure out what we're going to do in September. We hope to be open in some level, but, as I say, the situation is constantly changing, and so it won't be in the Bushin. The Bushin gets already done. So keep an eye out for either an email or a letter if you're on our mailing list or our members list, or go to our website. You can also, if you're here on YouTube already, you can check out the Obon Festival, the virtual festival, if you weren't able to watch it. Maybe the Obon service. We had a nice guest speaker, Reverend Henry Adams, and you can listen to his Dharma talk as we're still kind of here at the tail end of the Obon season. So thank you very much. Take care. We can conclude the service, after which we'll have the virtual incense offering. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Naman Dabutsu. Naman.